Hi everyone and welcome to Backcountry Gear Shed. Today I'm doing a video on the BPS Savage. This is a 1066 carbon steel blade, full tang construction knife. It comes in one of BPS Knives' very heavy duty, well constructed sheaths. Although I do have some pretty major issues that I'll be mentioning about this sheath. This is actually a rare critical review that you'll see from me of BPS knives, and that I think that this sheath really does not fit this knife and probably shouldn't be sold with this knife. And that really detracted from my overall impression of the knife, and I'll show you what I mean here. But looking at the knife itself a little bit, this is overall length 9 inches. This knife, it really strays from what I'm used to in BPS knives, in that all of my other BPS knives have a Scandi grind, whereas this one is flat ground. But that, I don't mind. I mean, I like that. It's kind of nice to shake things up a little bit. I have no issues with that. I would probably like this knife a lot more if I had a sheath that I thought fit the knife well. And unfortunately, I really don't. So this is the sheath that the knife was sold with. And it's basically like other BPS knife sheaths. This seems to be basically their standard form of sheath, and I like it on knives that it fits well. The dangle works very well for me. If I'm riding in a vehicle, this can ride down kind of in the center console area very comfortably, as opposed to the non-dangle sheaths, the type where this might be right on your belt, and this tends to dig into the seat or just be awkward and hard to position comfortably in a vehicle. That's one great advantage of the dangle sheath, but it's not just in vehicles. Anywhere where you might need that extra flexibility, the dangle is a nice thing to have. Also, if I'm wearing an untucked shirt or overshirt, this can allow it to hang down below that shirt as it kind of drapes, and that's a very nice feature as well. So I like the sheath in a lot of ways. I only wish it fit the knife. To give you a better example of that, the sheath seems to be the standard issue for BPS knives. I'll show you a comparison. This is the BPS Adventurer. Very similar sheath. One difference being this one does have the ferro rod holder attachment on it. But other than that, the form of the sheath looks to be basically the same. The black sheath maybe just a little bit thicker material actually, but overall basically the same sheath. And on the BPS Adventurer, this is a great knife. This is a Scandi ground knife. This was my first BPS knife actually, and it convinced me that I needed more BPS knives. I can say that much. It's a great knife and a great value, and the sheath is excellent in its own right. The sheath alone is basically worth the cost of admission on these knives. That's what a lot of people kind of report on these, and it's really true. It's just, unfortunately, with this one, it doesn't fit. And here, I'll show you what I mean. This knife, the shape of the blade is clearly quite different from, let's compare that with the Adventurer. The Adventurer fits this sheath like it was made for it, because it was. Unfortunately, that's a pretty far cry from the shape of this blade, though, and it just doesn't fit properly in that sheath. I've tried kind of trying to work that in there more, flatten this out a little bit, but any way you slice it, it just doesn't fit this sheath. The more you jam it in there, you end up with this kind of gap back here because of the shape of the knife, and it just gets kind of bound in there. Maybe with time it will loosen up some, but it's never going to fit this sheath like it was made for it, I don't think. I've looked around a little bit to see if I can find an alternative sheath, something third party that I can purchase and use with this knife. I haven't found anything that fits yet. If you happen to know of a sheath that would fit this knife, or a particular make or sheath vendor that I should look at, please comment and let me know. I'd be very happy to take a look. Maybe I'll even do a video on it if it works out. But for now, I feel like I have this pretty great little knife with no great fitting sheath to go with it. So pretty disappointing. but still a nice knife. So I'm hopeful that maybe I'll find a sheath or get the sheath that came with working a little better and ultimately get some use out of this knife. So thank you for watching.